and welcome to another video. So something a little bit different. So I'm starting to plan out my second album. Now if you're new to this channel, maybe you missed it. So this time last year, so around about a year ago, I released my first album. It looks like this. Artist name, Pat David, it's called Number One. It's on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, Bandcamp if you want like a physical CD. Everywhere that you can listen to music, that's where it is if you want to check it out. I'm so incredibly proud of it because it was ideas that were floating around in my head for 5 years and compositions that I'd written down with this like 40-piece orchestra that took so long to write and to program and to get to sound the way that I did, but I was just so proud and happy that it's actually out. So here's a couple of snippets over the next like 30 seconds just so you can hear what it's about. So pretty big, pretty epic sounding. It certainly starts out pretty mellow and solemn, the first track, with just piano and no guitar at all. But it gets you know, a lot sort of more epic and joyous and happy towards the end. So definitely check it out if you haven't already. But this year is all about moving on. So what's the second album going to be? So I'm going to take all of my favorite artists that I've been listening to at the moment, which are mainly sort of hip-hop related tracks, and I'm going to make an instrumental album, so I'm going to be soloing over the top. So there'll be no sort of vocals. There might be some repeated melodies or some choirs and some horns and strings, but mainly it's going to be hip-hop based instrumental with electric guitar over the top. I haven't heard a lot of that before, so I'm really curious to explore the genre, and I just thought, you know what, that sounds really interesting for me to learn a whole new genre, especially if there's not a lot out there as well. That could be cool for other people to listen to as well. So what I've done, the first comment below, I've made a playlist. It's on Apple Music or it's on Spotify. So if you've got either of those and you're on your phone, check out the playlist, and these are the songs that are sort of inspiring me to write this second album. Now I say album, really it's an EP. It'll be like 4 or 5 tracks. But so excited, and it's going to be so much fun to write because the first album, again, like I said, there's like a 40-piece orchestra. So I had this massive like wall of sound, heavily inspired by like Hans Zimmer and all my favorite composers. I had this massive wall of sound, and I had to try and squeeze an electric guitar solo in the mix. So, hey, I think I did a good job, but it was so hard and it took so long. So now I'm completely changing and going back to almost like an 80s old school Steve Vai, Joe Satriani style of soloing, where you've just got this 4-bar repeating backing track, and it's more so the guitar playing that's the main sort of focus. So taking away all those massive, rises of cinematic strings and everything. So that's what I'm planning for this year. That's my second album. What do you think? Have you heard my first album? You're gonna check it out now? Have you heard this type of hip hop sort of instrumental solo guitar stuff? Let me know. And what are you listening to at the moment? So I'm listening to a lot of Aurora. Love that. So I'm listening to a lot of, and what are you listening to at the moment? I'm listening to a lot of Aurora myself. Man, so good, such an amazing talent and such a great voice. But that's it, just a quick update. See you again for another video very soon. Bye.